Yo, what's up, guys? It's day 8. Today, honestly, I don't even know what to talk about. It's pretty late, so I can't be uber loud, but yeah, I would say honestly, let's talk about some football, I guess, because I don't really have anything else to talk about. Let's look at the Jets. A lot of my friends are Jets fans, and I feel like the Jets are going in the right direction. I think it's tough to trade all your players, like 100%. Losing Quinnen, All-Pro, Pro Bowler, and Sauce is just like, that's got to be gut-wrenching for Jets fans. I won't lie. But you also need to look forward and be like, how can this team move forward? You know, because they're clearly years away from being anything. Quinnen, I believe, is 28 years old. And he's still playing pretty well, but getting that much of a haul for him was 100% worth it. Like, you couldn't say no to that trade. Like, that was... Because you got to realize, I think players typically fall off as they get older. And so, offloading Quinnen before... Like, let's say the Jets are good in 3 years, and they make the playoffs in the third year. Quinnen will be 31 by then, and it's like, it doesn't make a ton of sense to do that. So, getting a return on him, I mean, I think they got a first, a second, and Mozzie Smith, which Mozzie Smith is a throwaway, but a first and a second for Quinnen seems very worth it, like 100%. Because again, you got to think about the timetable of everything. Like, the Jets are not even close to contention, first of all, right? But second of all, why would you make a move that you know is a bad idea? Okay, well, let me reiterate. Continuing to keep him wouldn't make a ton of sense. And then the sauce of it was, that one surprised me. I think the Quinnen one, like, I understood afterwards, but the Sauce one was, like, very unexpected. See, I thought the Colts were going to get Tariq Woolen, but the Seahawks said they weren't going to trade him. So I was like, okay, they need a man corner for their scheme. And then you look at it, okay, it does make a ton of sense that you would go after Sauce, a young player. Yes, he just got paid a lot, but I don't know. You gave him 2 first-round picks and Adonai Mitchell, which, again, I think this is a clear win for the Jets, because you got to look at it like this. Again, Sauce is very young, yes, but 2 first-round picks plus a first-round talent-ish player, in my opinion, is like, that's just I don't even think the Jets were shopping him. I think the Colts called and they said, you know what, we'll give you 2 first-round picks and Adonai Mitchell for him, or whatever. I think the Adonai Mitchell got thrown in because, again, they said the Browns had a deal for him for a late-round pick, and then I guess the Jets wanted him, which I wanted my Giants to trade for him, and they didn't do that. But I just think Adonai Mitchell has had kind of a bad shake. Obviously, the Colts don't need him. That's another thing. Downs is a great slot. Alec Pierce has blossomed into more than just a deep threat, which is incredible. And Pittman's just an all-around dog. So you already have your receivers. Adonai Mitchell was the odd man out. But again, I think the Jets can get something out of him. Like, I'm really excited to see what they can do with that. Because, again, Adonai Mitchell hasn't had a good shake, you know? And I don't even think it's completely his fault. Adonai Mitchell just, for whatever reason, it hasn't panned out. We saw in that Rams game that he has a lot of talent, and that's clear. But he had the fumble, and that I know that's like a joke, but like, fumbling like that when you just drop it is insane. But because you're celebrating. But again, I think that the direction the Jets are going in makes too much sense. And I used to be of the belief of like, I don't believe in, I like the idea of assets, but if I don't have faith in my GM, it's hard for me to feel fully on board trading for picks and not trading them away. But also, I realized you can't think like that because you just can't. Like, you can't think like, oh, my GM's not to pick the right guys, because that's not how, like, you think about it. You think about it as these are assets that are very valuable. I mean, they got a total of, 3 first-round picks, a second-round pick, Mozzie Smith, and Adonai Mitchell. Again, those are very great additions, I think. Like, honestly, I mean, Mozzie Smith is actually terrible player. I'm sorry. That he was getting DNP. Jerry Jones was a DNP, and that dude, I don't know what's wrong with that guy, but that was just a miss of a pick by them. But maybe the Jets can get something out of him. Who knows? Probably not, but that doesn't really matter. But again, if you can hit on 2 of those 3 first-round picks, I think it's not bad. Like, I think you can say, oh, the Colts picks are going to be in the 20s, but we don't really know that for next year. But this year, I agree. But again, a first-round pick is a first-round pick, and the Jets are already going to have another first-round pick. So theoretically, they're stockpiling assets for a potential trade-up in the future or this year, And I think how it's going to shake up is the Saints or the Titans will end up with the first overall pick, and the Jets will be in the 3 to 5 range, I would estimate. Just because I don't think the Giants are going to win a lot of more games. Like, the Giants' schedule is just insane. The Browns probably won't win a lot more games either. So, like, you have a few teams. The Raiders, I think, will squeak out a few because Brock Bowers is back and they look better. But, yeah, I would say you're looking at, let's say the Jets have the 3rd pick and they want Mendoza, because I think Mendoza is the clear number 1 right now, currently, regardless of what I think. I haven't looked too much into the quarterbacks, to be honest, but Mendoza is, from what I've seen, is the clear number 1 in the eyes of a lot of people. So I would say if the Jets really loved Mendoza, they could trade up with the Titans. I don't think the Saints would trade down, but they could trade up with the Titans if they were the first overall pick. But to be honest, if I was the Jets, I think I would be, again, it would depend. If I'm the GM of the Jets and I say, I really love Ty Simpson, I really love Frank Mendoza, but Fernando Mendoza. If I really love one of those guys, I'll do whatever it takes to trade up for him, probably. But I would say if I have the first overall pick and I'm the Jets and I don't like any of these guys, like I'm not in love with any of them, then I would trade down. I think you could get a pretty good haul. And again, think about how many picks you could accumulate over the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, come on. That's why I think you're better off, like, getting a bridge quarterback anyways. I think Fields is just not it. And I don't see Tyrod being the starter next year, but I think you could do, like, Jacoby, I think, has just been proving this year that he deserves to start. And the Jets have young tackles, so it's hard to gauge the Jets O-line because a lot of the sacks are on Justin Fields because he can't read a field. No pun intended. He cannot read a field fast enough for the NFL, and that makes him get sacked a lot more. But again, I would say the Jets are in an interesting spot because me personally, I think unless a quarterback like I loved, I would trade down pretty much no matter what. Get a bridge QB for 1 year, and then be mid next year or bad next year. Draft however many players, because I think you could accumulate. Well, guaranteed you're going to get at least 2 first-round picks for like Mendoza. Like let's say the Saints want to trade up, or I don't know, let's say the Raiders or something like that. Let's say they had like the 6th, maybe not 6th, the 6th, maybe 8th, 7th pick, something like that. So you get that, plus their pick next year, plus something else potentially, like a later pick, like a 4th. I would say hell yeah, I'd do that. Are you kidding me? Like, and then the Jets next year can trade up for a guy if they want to, or I just think it makes sense to do that, like, honestly. And I think you could even, like, if I'm the Jets, I would say, like, I don't think Lenore Sellers will go, and I don't really believe in him a lot, to be honest. I go to South Carolina, but I think it's coaching partially, but he's had huge struggles to the point where it would be stupid for him to go to the draft. But, like, there's so many unproven quarterbacks that it's like the Jets could take a swing in the second round if they wanted to on one of these guys. And then trade down in the first, take a swing on a guy in the second round. That's not the biggest deal when you have so many picks. Like, it's not. Again, but I'm saying take a swing on a guy if you like him. If you like a guy and he's there in the second round, I don't see why you wouldn't do that. I mean, I don't know that second round success of quarterbacks typically, but I would say why not do that, right? Like, I just think it makes a lot of sense to be smart, and trading back, there's no negatives to me because, like, again, I don't think there's a generational guy this year. I don't think Mendoza's a generational, like, no matter what you say, like, people are high on Dante Moore, Ty Simpson, but again, I think if I'm the Jets, with the trajectory of the things they were doing already, I think you trade down, dude. And then you could get, like, whatever player you want. I would have tried to trade Brees, honestly. I know they were like, well, we don't want to take a fourth for him, and I can get that, but it's like, I can't believe the Chiefs didn't offer a third for him. A third-round pick from the Chiefs is basically a fourth-round pick. I don't know why the Chiefs wouldn't have done that. That seemed like crazy to me. But maybe the running back value is just so low right now because I agree it is. But yeah, I mean, I really would like to see Tyrod play. I know we're very close to the benching of Fields because Aaron Glenn cannot tell this team any longer that the best option is Justin Fields. So I think, honestly, tomorrow or today, whatever day it is, against the Patriots, I think we could see a Fields benching at halftime. Probably, depending on how it goes. I think it's going to be a blow-up, probably, because the Patriots are pretty good this year, but who's to say, right? Thursday Night Football, teams always come out weird, but, I mean, the Jets are actually, like, I feel like the Jets are in a good spot. It's just so, like, insane, though, to think about, like, I don't know fans of these teams. I mean, I'm a Giants fan, so, like, until Dart was here, like, we've been in rough spots. I always believed in Daniel, but it never panned out for us, except for 2022. But I think the Jets are really, like, if I'm a Jet fan, I'm optimistic for sure. I think there's a lot of delusional Colt fans that are saying, like, they fleece, and I'm like, bro, you traded 2 first-round picks and a second round pick you guys had, who has all the talent in the world. He just hasn't been able to put it together. Also, this is kind of unrelated, but I liked the Mechie trade. I know it seems like a throwaway, but, like, Mechie, I think Mechie has a chance. I mean, I think he could be a good slot guy. Like, I really do. So, again, I think Garrett, Adonai Mitchell, I like the John Mechie trade because there's no risk involved, and there's a chance he could do something. So, you could potentially have secured receivers. But, again, I just, like, Mason Taylor is pretty solid, I think. It's just so annoying that the Jets are not playing Tyrod, because at least Tyrod, we could see what the receivers have. Like, we can't even do that with Fields. Like, you just can't. So, yeah, I would say ASAP we need Tyrod Taylor. This is actually longer than I thought the video would be, but yeah, I mean, my friends are Jets fans, a lot of them. And I feel like they're pretty optimistic, which I think is good. I think you guys should be optimistic about your team and about the things you've done. You still have Jermaine, Will McDonald on defense. Like, you still have some guys on defense. But yeah, I mean, on the Cowboys side, I hate that trade, to be honest. Like, I don't get it. Like, I get the idea that the NFC East is wide open. I don't believe in the Eagles at all. I don't. But I just think it doesn't, like, you're not a good team. Clearly, your offense is spectacular. But your defense is horrendous. I love the Logan Wilson pickup. Like, Logan Wilson made a lot of sense. I just think Quinnen, like, I don't think it made them. I don't know if that was the right idea. I think Quinnen and Kenny Clark will be a good duo. And, I mean, like, I just think that the Cowboys are way more than one player, two players away from being a great team or a Super Bowl contender or anything close to that, obviously. But I just think it was a stupid call. I think Jerry's getting desperate out there, but it's more about, like, I think Quinnen is a great player, but again, they have to pay him, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 98% sure they're gonna have to pay him. And Kenny Clark, they're not gonna be able to re-sign. So, because they're not gonna pay two D tackles a lot of money. So again, it's kind of, the Micah Parsons trade looks horrendous right now. That can be a separate video, but like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that trade made a lot of sense for the Cowboys, I'm not gonna lie. But I get he makes a shit ton of money, but again, look at what he's doing on the Packers. I mean, like, come on. The guy's the only player getting pressures on that team, and it's like, the guy is just so good. He makes your defense so much better than it actually is, but all right, this was a 17-minute video, pretty much. But yeah, I would say Jets fans, stay positive, guys. I know it sucks losing Sauce. Like, that was a fan favorite, 100%. Quinnen, one of the guys for sure. Like, honestly, I'm not a Jet fan, but Sauce is a dog, dude. I love Sauce Gardner. Like, he's just such a likable guy that it's like, it's tough. And I watched that interview and he was like, he wanted to be on a winning team, and it's like, I feel like that sucks. That's tough. That's what it is, you know? I feel bad that Brees couldn't get traded. I think it made a lot of sense, and Chiefs didn't want to give him a third. So, I don't blame the Jets for that, but yeah, I mean, I think they'll win some more games. But yeah, I think a trade down's likely, but we're far away from that. But yeah, I want to see Tyrod. Yeah, so final thoughts. I want to see Tyrod. I want to see what Adonai can do. There's going to be no Garrett. Adonai is going to be a big part of the game plan. This is his second week. He didn't play last week because he didn't know the playbook. So this week I expect him to be implemented pretty heavily, even though it's a short week. But yeah, let's see what Adonai can do. Let's see what Mechie can do. Screw it. Let's see Tyler Johnson and Arian Smith go out there. Let's see that shit. All right, though. Hope the Jets got a chance tomorrow, guys, but it's been real. And let's give you a little J-E-T-S.